Hey, what's up? Jason here from Unity3D.college. Today I'm going to show you how to use links inside Unity to make something happen. We're going to go with a very specific example that's somewhat World of Warcraft style, where we have an item link and we can click on it and something pops up. But this will really work with just about anything that you want to do. If you want to have text and you want it to be kind of context aware and do something when the person clicks on it, this method will work for you. Now, this came as a question in the Discord channel. If you're interested in joining the Discord channel, I'll put some information down in the description below so you can check it out. But let's just get started. So here you can see we've got some text. It says here is a short sword you can click on and an axe, or a axe. My punctuation and grammar was terrible there. And then it says that there's also a magic ring. And if I click on one, you see we get a little pop-up. And it shows the item, the name, the description, and an icon. And I can do the same for any of these, and I can click on any of these to kind of bounce around. So let's see how this all works. First, I want to show the text object. So right here, I've got the Text Mesh Pro object actually selected. Let's go to the scene view real quick too, so we can see that here. That's this right here, nice little text object. And it's got a clickable text script on it, but first I want to show you this Text Mesh Pro text. So what do we have in here? We have, here is a link, and you see we're using the HTML style formatting. So we just put a link inside the brackets, and then we give it a ID or a title. So this one is linked to short sword, and then we put the content in there. Here you can see I've also added a color in there. That's why it's green. So if you want to make your links light up, you need to put in some code in there that's going to put some color code there, maybe even an underline if you wanted. For instance, we could do like a U here, and then end the U after the color, and now it's an underlined link. So it's got this ID and then the text in there, the word short sword. This one also has an axe with the ID of axe and the word axe. And then this one here, just to mix it up a little bit, the name is ring and the text here is magic ring. Just to make sure that you understand that these IDs here don't have to match with the text. So let's see how this is working. Let's open up the clickable text script. And you see that the first thing we notice is we implement the I pointer click handler. So just putting that on here is going to make the UI system know that we want to respond to pointer clicks. And it's going to make this method automatically get called whenever we click on this object. And then we get the Text Mesh Pro component. Theoretically or technically, we should probably cache that, but we don't need to right here because it's a simple example. But we get the Text Mesh Pro component, and we check to make sure that they clicked the left button. If you want to have other button clicks, that's fine. I just went with left click because it seemed like the standard. And then we have this call. This is probably the most important part here. So we use the Text Mesh Pro text utilities find intersecting link method. And then we pass in the text object, we pass in the mouse position, and then this last parameter that's null is actually the camera. I think if we were using a different world space camera, we're going to need to put that in, but since we're just using an overlay, we just pass in null, and it seems to find the main camera fine. And this gives us back an index of which link we clicked on. If we didn't click on a link, so let's go back into here. If I clicked maybe on the word perhaps, we're not going to get an index, we'll get a -1. So we check here to make sure that we didn't get -1. So we know we actually clicked on some link text. Then we get the link info object. So we just call text.textinfo.linkinfo at this index. So this is just an array of link infos that are automatically built by the Text Mesh Pro system. We're just getting the one that we clicked on. And then this method to get link ID is actually getting that key that we put in here. So it's getting this right here, this ring. Oops, there we go. That ring or the axe or short sword without a space. That's what this is getting. And if you look here, do like link info. Here, let's do link info dot. And you see that there's actually a decent amount of stuff here. We can get the component. That's the thing that we passed in. We can get the length of it. We can actually get the full text. Where was that? Link text. Get link text right there. So yeah, there's a lot of things we can get, but what we need is the ID. So once we have the ID, I call into this item data controller and just use a get method with the link ID, and that's actually returning back out this item data object that I've created. And I'll show you that in just a second. Then we pass the item data into the pop-up panel and tell it to show it. So first, let's take a look at the item data before we see how it's shown. Let's go into this item data controller. It's actually a very simple class. It's just got a array of item datas and then a get method that returns the first one where the key matches. It's just a very, very basic, simple class to hold this data. And then we have a struct down below with the serializable attribute on there so that we can edit this all in the editor. And then it's got a key, a name, a description, some damage, and a sprite. So you may have noticed a lot of these things popping up when I clicked on the links when they showed up in the UI elements. Except damage, I don't think I hooked that up yet. So let's take a look at how that's set up. Go to the item data controller, and here you see we have 3 items. And to change this, we just change that number. So now we have 4 items. And I just copied the last one, but I could add another item here. Maybe I wanted to add a bow, name it bow, and it shoots stuff. And then give it a sprite, and just pick a random sprite. By the way, the sprites that I'm using here were from this RPG Inventory Icons free pack. It's a pretty cool little pack. The icons look pretty nice. The ring's a little bit weird, but the rest of them are really cool. Definitely worth checking out. So anyway, we've got this array here. I can put the data in, and then I can click on it. In fact, let's make a change real quick. Let's change the icon for the ring to a shield. There we go. And then I'm going to go back into game mode and click on it, and now you see that we see a shield when we click on that instead of the ring. Let's close it. The last thing that we haven't looked at is this the script on this panel, this pop-up panel. That's the one that I was calling show on, and we didn't dive into. So let's stop playing, take a look at this panel real quick. So here we just have a normal old panel created under a canvas. And then I've created 4 children. There's a title text. Here, if we go to the scene view, you see it better. Title text, a description, a button there. The button is literally just set up to disable the panel. That's this event right here. And then an image for the icon. So let's take a look at the script. The script here, we've just got the serialized fields for those 3 things. And then we have a static pop-up panel instance that's private. This is because I'm doing a very simple, lazy singleton that's just as basic as possible here. And on awake, we set the instance to this. Remember, that's static, so we're setting that static instance to pop-up panel that appears. And then we're disabling this panel. And then when we call this static show method, we actually just use the instance that was already assigned there, set the title text, the description text, and the image to the things that were passed in through that item data. And that's really all there is to it. So again, the key part here is this find intersecting link. It's probably the most important part. If you don't know about it, you wouldn't know that this is as easy as it is. So make sure that you're using TextMesh Pro and you're using this method, and you can do pretty much anything. We don't have to call a pop-up panel show. We could open up a web page or whatever other thing that we wanted to do there instead. Anyway, if you have questions about this, feel free to drop them below. I'll try to post the source as well so that you can download it in the link below. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends, and have a great day.